Hi guys, welcome back to Factorio Vanilla. This is episode 15. So last time we set up our red circuits, which means that we've got almost everything we need to produce blue science. So the question we're going to ask now is where are we going to put it? I think that running it down here would be a good plan, because that way we can run the blue science packs over and across to here. So, lucky we didn't get hit by a train there. So, I think we've got just enough space. If I clear a little bit of trees out from just by here, we should have enough space running down here to run our blue science production next to train tracks, and then have our output going into the other side. So I've done a little bit of maths, and I reckon that we want to have probably 15, maybe 18 factories making blue science packs. Obviously we can expand that if that's not enough, but we've got 6 so far. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, that's in the wrong place. It'll have to be 18 because I've just run out of manufacturing plants. And blue science requires batteries, advanced circuits, filter inserters and steel plates. So we are now producing all of those apart from filter inserters, which I will set up in a moment. So let's get all these ready for that. And we've run out of belts as well, so we're going to have to get some more belts before we can do much else. So that's modular armour ready. We can start looking at that, although we don't have the capacity to make processing units yet. So for the meantime, I don't think it's worth us getting assembly machine 3 yet, even though we can't yet, but we could look at getting some more inserter capacity bonus, which would allow us to start using some of the non-stack inserters a little bit quicker. So let's go for that for the time being. And how far could we go along? So this would be the last row that we could actually get with that without needing blue signs anyway. So let's get this out of the way. But in the meantime, we need some belts, which are over here somewhere. And it looks like some of these might be starting to finish as well. So let's just pick these up so we can use them again afterwards. And that one is also finished. So I'm trying to open up the space as it becomes available, because I've got plans for using this bit for, well, I would have used it for doing things like automating underground belts and splitters, things like that. But we're almost to the point now where we don't need to automate them, so we'll have to see how it goes. Just notice we do need some more lights by here, so let's add those in, because I do want you guys to be able to see what's going on. And let's add one by there as well. And 1 or 2 down here. So I was trying to get more belts, which are there. And I'm probably going to need more inserts as well. So let's make all those quickly in my pocket. So while we're putting all this together, I thought I'd have a quick chat with you guys about some of the things I've changed and some of the things I've learnt since I set up this channel. I set this channel up about 3 weeks ago now, and at the time I was really just doing it as a way to pass the time, something to actually do as a bit of fun. But I'm finding it quite interesting so far, and I've learned a fair bit along the way as well. So when I started, the first couple of episodes, the audio was absolutely dreadful. So I almost apologise to anyone who's listened through that, because it was recorded on a phone and it was the best technology I had available at the time. After about episode 3, I moved on to a webcam setup, which it worked well enough, don't get me wrong, it did the job, but again, it wasn't quite up to what I was looking for. So a couple of days ago, and you might have noticed this from the last episode or two, I went out and bought a Turtle Beach streaming mic, which I think the audio on it is, well, as far as I can tell, a lot better than what we have been using in the past. So hopefully you guys will agree with that, and you guys will think that the audio is coming together a bit more clearly now, a bit less pops, whistles, rattling in the background. But long term, I'm still interested in developing things more, still looking at ways to actually put the stream together in a more cohesive way. So if you've got any ideas or suggestions, let me know, because I'd be interested in just improving things where I can. Really, because I want these videos to be as good as they can be for me and for you. So I think that's probably all I want to say on that for now, but obviously if you've got any comments or queries, send me a message, leave a comment below, and I will read them and reply with whatever's appropriate. So how are we doing? We've run out of fast inserters still, so we're going to need more of them again. And we're going to need more longhand inserts as well. So let's make some of those. I think actually we want these to be coming in the other way around. So let's pick one of these up and run it down. Because if we get them coming in from both sides this way, which I think I've just set up down these ones, yes. If we get them coming in both sides this way, it means that our longhand inserter only has to deal with the slowest part, which is the output, because each blue sign takes about 12 seconds to make. So it doesn't matter too much how long it takes for the inserter to swing outwards, but it can matter quite a bit how quickly the items can be put into the assembly machines. So that gives us our 2 rows for input, and I think we're going to have our output run along this line close to the track. So this can come right the way down, 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 and it can then cross over by here and come in as our second track on here. Don't want it to go quite all the way to there. So we are then pretty much set up with all the signs we need, with the exception of purple signs, which can come in from the underside. And that will take us almost to end game content once we actually get it up and running. So next thing we need to do is put some power poles in. And we're going to have to put some lights in as well. Do we have enough lights? No, not quite. Can we make more lights? That's the next question. Yes, we can make a few. So we can put the longhand inserters in while we're waiting for the lights to finish. And then it'll be a case of starting to wire up the inputs so that we actually have all the things coming in that we want in the right places. So that's done. Let's add the last of the lights to this. So where are we going to have our inputs coming in? We've already got batteries and advanced circuits, but advanced circuits aren't being made until there, so we'd have to double them back slightly for this, which means I think we are going to have our batteries and steel come in on the right hand side, and then the red circuits and the filter inserters on the left hand side. So let's just try and line that up now. Once again I'm out of belt, so let's steal some of this and craft some quickly while I'm trying to line everything up. So it might be a bit of a tight squeeze. It will certainly be a bit of a tight squeeze looking at this. So that might be the best way to do this. And then we'll have to look at batteries in a moment, because batteries are going to face the same problem that this does. Okay, this will be a challenge. Because if that comes down there, what I can do, or not, okay, I think cut all of this section out for a moment. What we'll do is we'll split the batteries off by there, put the splitter in. We are going to take our steel underground for as far as it will go, because that will give us the space to do whatever we want then. We're going to have to split the steel at the same point, because that's the earliest we can split it. And if we have another underground belt there, coming down, and it will have to come past there as well. That will then tie in with the rest of our belt. And I'll take this one out for a moment. Means moving the light, but that's okay because we've got other lights nearby. Does everything still have power? Yes, it does. So good, that connects up reasonably well. And then, where can we put this in? See, I would bring it into there, but then you can't go across. So let's take it from here to... nope, from here to there instead. And loop it back slightly, which is a little bit ugly. It's not quite how I would choose to do things, but it will have to do for now. And actually that means that we can then bring our splitter forward a couple of spaces and put that under there instead. So we've now got batteries and steel coming in on the one side, and we didn't even have to have this underground section here, so we could take that back out and go back to having just normal belt. So let's put that in, because the less spaghetti we can have, the better. So this runs right the way down, and I've just realised I've made a mistake there. Let's cut that off, because I've put all of this inputting into the wrong belt. So instead of coming to this outside lane, it should have come to the inside lane. That's easy to fix. Just need to bring it down there instead. And if I grab all this, can I pick it up, or do I not have the space in the inventory? We'll find out in a moment. There you go, we did have enough space, fortunately. So that's going to come in and continue to come in. And then with our red circuits, can we loop it back? What would happen if it came under here? So it would come from there to here, come under the copper. No, that's not going to work very well there, unless we do something like this, which is possible. There you go, that will just about work. And again, it's a little bit spaghetti-ish with the S shape, but it will bring in what we want where we want it to be brought in. And in fact, I suppose we could even bring it in there instead, cutting this off. So by moving the whole thing along by one, it does increase the length of this S, which I'm not too keen on, but it gives us then a built-in place where we can separate the two inputs out. So that can come in there, and we can have our filter inserters coming in from this side. So the only thing we need to do now is to split off the red circuits. So that's going to take those two out, and that can go to there. So we can split that at this point and bring it across. So that's 3 of our 4 inputs for blue signs done. The last one now will be creating our filter inserters, and they look complicated because to make them you've got to make, put that belt back for a second, you've got to make inserters, which takes green circuits, iron gears and iron plates. You then make fast inserters, which is more green circuits, more iron plates and the inserters you just made, and then you make filter inserters with more green circuits again and the fast inserter. But they all take the same crafting speed, and you can actually do it in a very simple setup if you've got green circuits being produced elsewhere. So I will show you this in a moment. But I'm going to need more belt and I'm going to need more assembly machines in order to do it. So let's just run across and pick up the things I need. So grab 2 stacks of that because that will keep me going for the time being. Of course I now don't have the space to actually pick up more belt, so that's a problem. I can pick up a little bit, but not enough. And that's the problem I'm having, I'm now dropping belt everywhere. So what can I do? Let's make a steel chest, which I immediately drop. Drop the landfill for a second just to have space to put stuff, and let's put this chest down, then grab all the stuff I've just dropped. Or not, let's put some of the walls into there first, then pick up the stuff I've just dropped. And having dropped all the walls, I've now got space back in my inventory again to actually fill up with belts, so that's a little bit more useful. So, got to be careful there's no trains. No, that's okay, I survived. And if we have our outputs by here, is that going to work? No, it needs to be one space further over. There. So I will have to clear out a few more of these trees, but that will only take me a moment to do, and I'm going to need more iron as well, so I can make some more inserters. Let's just clear out some of these trees on the side, because I will need a little bit more space than we have. And it's very tempted to use the flame run to clear up the entire forest, but I think that might be overkill. So if we run belt down the one side and belt up the other side, that will connect into there. So now it's just a case of wiring the whole thing together. And if I remember right, that should do it. So what we're going to do is have our green circuits coming down on the left hand side and our iron coming down on the right hand side, which we can just about run off from here. Do I have any splitters? Yeah. Yes, I do. And can I put a splitter somewhere in here? That would go there. Now, do I have enough underground belts left? Not really. Maybe have enough. Okay. That should give me enough to do what's needed. So if we put the long hands inserter there, need to tell this that's going to be a filter inserter, a fast inserter, a normal inserter, and some gear wheels. And then the last thing we need to do is put some power to it all. And put some lights on it. Because lights are always useful. So if I've got this set up correctly, let's check it and find out. We've got iron coming in, making cogs. The cogs are being filtered into the assembling machine, but why is this not moving on? Because it's full. So okay, why is that not moving on? Because it's full. So why is that not moving on? Because for some reason it's not getting any... I bet this is one square too short. No, it's not any squares too short, it's just got lots of logs coming down the lane. So what can I get rid of to do that? I'll put that there for a second. That opens up a slot in my inventory. And there you go. We are now starting to produce, or we were starting to produce, that. But once again we are out of space. So I think let's dump the wood over here. Pick up that filter insert I just dropped and left behind. So wood can go away, copper ore can go away, stone can go away, landfill can go away. Anything else I can get rid of? I suppose I don't need... Let's get rid of the ammo for now. I know it's there, so I can always come back to it. What about down here? We're not going to need any more stone furnaces, probably ever again at this point. So let's get rid of those as well. And put the ammo into the ammo slot, because that's where it's meant to be. So check there's no trains about to run me over. No, good. If I've done my maths right, then this should produce one filter inserter every half second. So in the 12 seconds that it takes to make a science pack, we can actually make 24 filter inserters, which means that this should fill all of these, and in fact we've got, is it 18 of these we've got? In which case it should actually fill 24 of them, so we can expand it out a little bit and still run on that. But that's assuming we've actually got enough green circuits coming through to actually fill this all the time, which it looks like we haven't. So that's something we can do in the next episode, is start to increase the green circuit production, because that's something I can see that we're going to need. But as we've now got blue signs being produced, there you go, you can see them coming along here. And they're being brought down to our lab complexes, which could do with some light. I think we can call the video there, and next time I will start to optimize some of these things and we can move towards some of the end game content. So that's it for now. You've been watching Factorio Vanilla. See you next time.